Hi, folks. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, so many beautiful people here. Hello, hello. I am Hi, Lena. Welcome, welcome. I'm Chef Jenny, everyone, and welcome to Homemade Cooking. We're coming in last class day of 2023. Bittersweet because we love spending time with you all. But you know, we're coming in here towards the end of the week, but we're coming in with a bang because we're making 8 custard tarts today. We're making puff pastry today. So we're doing it right. I'm not here just by myself. I've got the amazing Christina with me. Hi, Christina.
Hey, happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Happy, hopefully to you all, last week of work for the year, potentially, for at least a couple days, hoping for all of you. I mean,
oh my gosh, I started to get out of offices from people on December 15th where they were like, I will be back in January. And I was like, I respect that so much.
I mean, I'm getting emails. Am I processing them? Am I responding? Probably not. I'm going to be honest with you all. But like, keep sending those emails. I'll get to them shortly. We are making Portuguese 8 custard tarts, also known as Pasteis de Nata. I am not Portuguese, but I said it with confidence. If there's anyone who's Portuguese on the call, show us your camera, just on the Zoom, post in the chat. We want to hear from you. I want to hear if you've eaten a custard tart in Portugal. Throw it in the chat. It's a celebration of Portugal today, a severely underrated food country, like unbelievable. And Lisbon is an unbelievable food city.
Less and less, though. I feel like it's getting discovered and people are having these amazing trips and telling their friends.
Which I'm actually makes kind of anxious because I'm like, no, it's my food city. Like letting people like it's
the secret's out.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. Like amazing sausages and seafood and wine and all the stuff.
And naps, right? This is a nap-friendly country.
Yeah. Finally, I'm glad that I didn't realize I was European. I was just born in the wrong country. I like a nap, and there's other people are doing it. I just need to go out there. There's less judgment for all the naps. We love naps, everyone. Beautiful scenery, amazing experiences. So if you've eaten a custard tarts, if you made a custard tarts, we want to hear about it. If you've aspired to make a custard tarts and that's why you're here, we want to hear about it. Share all this stuff. Hopefully, maybe you'll be inspired today to make these for the holidays for next week. I actually feel like these have potentially like a New Year's vibe to them. They feel very like celebratory. I feel like they're perfect for today because today is winter solstice. They look like mini suns. So we just got to get through the shortest day of the year where it's dark by 4 p.m. and then we're on the way up, people. We're almost there, okay? For many reasons. So if you're new to homemade, we want you to share your cameras if you can. We love to see your beautiful faces, but especially if you're going to ask a question. Christina is running the chat, so throw your questions in there. And it's a very special day because we're not by ourselves. We're here with amazing people at the American Dairy Association Northeast. They can answer your questions about dairy in the chat. We love dairy. We're also here to celebrate making the milk moments happen. That's what today is all about, is making the milk moments happen for the holidays. My holidays have always been, currently are, and will forever be sponsored by dairy. I'm eating dairy multiple times a day, 0 regrets. I will tell you my making milk moment is that every day this week, I've been adding eggnog to my coffee. It's a game changer if you have not done it. Highly recommend adding eggnog to coffee. It's a moment, y'all. And then my day, the vibes kind of just follow that throughout the day, which is just eating a lot of cheese and bread. But they've got a great sweepstakes going on right now that you have a chance to enter to win $1,000. So go to makemilkmoments.com. I'm going to say that again. We'll throw in the chat. Makemilkmoments.com. Share your favorite milk moment, and especially around the holidays, and then you enter the sweepstakes. Christina, what's yours?
What's my milk moment?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so
many.
There's so many at this time of year. Like when I was in high school, I got teased by my family a lot because I love to make tapioca pudding from scratch. It was like my comfort
I
food.
love tapioca pudding.
And now they make it for me because they know I love it. But I don't make it all the time. But it was definitely like they knew if I'd had a good or a bad day by the size of the batch.
Tapioca pudding is way underrated. That's like that or rice pudding are one of my favorite things to order at a diner. Like a really good diner ordering tapioca pudding. It's a 10 out of 10.
Well, and it's just a recipe that like it must be made with whole milk. It just must.
Oh, yeah.
Like nothing, it's not a substitute. No, it
We're
just needs to be
4
made.
days for Christmas. Skim Milk's left the building, y'all.
Yeah.
I have whole milk and blocks of butter in my fridge right now. If you're looking for a salad, you're going to have to order it. It's not happening. I got all the whole milk dairy in my fridge. I've got whole milk cheese. It's fine. We're leaning into it. It's okay. It's all going to be okay.
Jenny, I know you can't see the chat, but Nancy just shared the best.
Okay,
I mean, this is a milk moment.
I'm so excited.
Entered into the sweepstakes if you like.
Please.
But Nancy's husband snorted milk accidentally, I'm assuming, out of his nose on their second date, and they are now married, I'm just going to assume, for years and years and years. But like that, yes. I feel like every long married couple has like that story where
A
it's like
moment of humility and humanness, like lock it down. That's a $1,000 winning story. I would throw that at, please submit that.
35 years, she says. That's amazing.
Also, $1,000 for just being married for 35 years. We celebrate that as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that Make Milk Moments is a long-standing tradition, like around the holiday time. Like they do a sweepstakes, people share like their favorite recipes. There's so much great baking and cooking at this time of year, but it seems like just a minute ago we were here last year making Milk Moments, and now we're back with a really delicious custard tart.
Someone sent me an email this week that talking about 2024, and I was like, you absolutely not. I'm still in 2023. I still feel like it's kind of late October, so I don't know what happened, but we love this tradition. So share your milk moments. Share it in the chat because I want to hear more of those. That was a great story, but also go to the website, makemilkmoments.com. Enter yourself a chance to win $1,000, y'all. I know I need it. That's like one Costco trip at this point. Like that's
For
one
real.
holiday Costco trip.
Or not that I ever look, but like, a week or two of Amazon boxes.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, it's the hard times.
Okay, wow. So we're gonna get going here. Who's anyone cooking along with me? We got a few people who could yes, all right.
Oh, Suzanne, welcome. Lena.
Hi, Deb. Nice to see you there. All right, Lena, I can't wait to compare tarts because you always have the most beautiful presentations. So we're going to get into it. Okay, I'm going to say this again. Again, if there's anyone who's Portuguese, let me hear it because I'm trying to pronounce it the best I can. Pasteis de Nata, which roughly translates to cream pastry. We are not actually using cream for this custard filling. We're using milk, but that kind of refers to the texture. These delicious, beautiful, flaky little egg custard bites originated in Portugal around the 19th century. And we've got some divine intervention here today because they hail from a monastery with monks and from nuns. They used to use egg whites to starch their clothes, and they had all these leftover egg yolks to use up. So those egg yolks then became the starter for these tarts, for the custard. So they are kind of one of the most identifiable dishes of Portugal. When you think about cannolis with Sicily, this is the same vibes. They're very famous. If you go, you have to get them. Chef Joel was telling us a story last night that when he went to Portugal, he was eating egg tarts every day for breakfast for 2 weeks. And yes, that's like me in Italy vibes where we're having gelato 2 times every day for like 2 weeks.
For me, these tarts like breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert.
Also,
like they're kind of an all day good idea.
Eggs, we've established eggs are for breakfast. So I don't see how these aren't appropriate for breakfast. That's all I'm saying. So we're going to teach you today how to make a little bit of a puff pastry, very fun, easy version of a puff pastry. There's so many out there. And then we're going to show you how to make this custard. The first thing we're gonna do is steep some milk. So I've got some, again, the vibes, whole milk. I've got whole milk over here, setting my pan to medium heat, adding that in. Please, you've got to use whole milk. We need all the fat for this, okay? And then I've got a cinnamon stick. I'm adding that in here. You can buy cinnamon sticks at the grocery store, very easy. And then I've got a lemon, and I'm just making a long peel here. You don't want the white part. We're looking for the zest because the zest is the essential oils. That's the part we want. So I'm adding that in, and I'm just gonna bring this up to a simmer. I'm not getting a roiling boil here. I'm not trying to curdle my milk. I just want to get this up to a simmer, get it warm enough for it to really extract those beautiful flavors from the cinnamon and from the lemon peel. And then I'm going to turn off my heat and we'll push it to the side. And just like how you would steep a tea bag in water, we're going to steep these aromatics in the milk, and then that's going to flavor our custard. So add these in here. I know it might seem like citrus and cinnamon, but trust me, they go together. It's really beautiful. I have all the cinnamon sticks right now. This is where I'm trying to use them. I bought them in October. We're using them all up now. We're making mulled cider, mulled wine right now. Those cinnamon sticks are getting a use. It already kind of smells like cinnamon. There's aromatics happening.
Jenny, have you noticed that monks and nuns have come up with a lot of decadent things like
how much
fruitcake and beer and like candy and like these obviously so good.
My people, the Catholic monks and nuns, they've got a lot of time to think. They're very creative. Waste not, want not. I really dig. I mean, I still think some of the coolest beer that's brewed in the world is brewed by monks. So
agreed. It seems like it would be the hard times, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.
I'm still stuck on the idea that uniforms used to be starched with egg whites. I need to know more about that process. If anyone's got the deets, please share, because I find that very interesting.
Yeah, I have a sibling who went way down the homemade starch road.
Oh,
bless. And it's actually very interesting, but it keeps your clothes cleaner because the dirt and all that is attracted to the starch, and then that washes out versus coming into your clothes. But if you have some free time, hit me up in the chat, and I'll tell you all about home starching.
This is why I'm not going to survive the apocalypse. I hear stuff like this. You can take this natural ingredient and do this. I'm just overwhelmed already. How do I do it?
I'm pretty sure pressing our clothes will not be. I think you can make it, Jenny. You're tough. And you can cook. You're going to be in high demand during the apocalypse.
Though, so the second that goes out, anytime the Wi-Fi goes out at our house, I'm a mess, y'all. Oh, but thank you for believing in me. I do appreciate it. It's nice to hear the support. All right. Steam. It smells really good. The lemon
it smells
in there
fantastic.
is lovely. Okay. Off heat, 15 minutes, just kind of steep. The essential oils and the lemon peel, the cinnamon stick. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. Over to pastry land. We're going to come over here and make a kind of a rough version of a puff pastry, a laminated dough. This is a whole section in pastry school that you had to pass. Laminated dough, it's a thing. You have a lot of times this long strip machine. I'm going to reference now one of my favorite movies, It's Complicated, with Meryl Streep. There's a whole croissant making scene in there where you actually see a laminated machine. You know the part I'm talking about, Christina?
Oh, I do.
Oh, it's a very famous part. You actually have machines to do it. We're learning, that's like the calculator way. We're learning law and division by hand by doing this by ourselves, and it's going to be great. So I've got some all-purpose flour here, the perfect protein amount. Pastry would be too little. Bread would be too much protein. This is the perfect amount we need as all-purpose. And a little salt. And I'm just going to mix these two together. And I'm going to start with 1/3 of a cup of some cold water that I have. I say we're going to start because this is one of the most frustrating things with people. I understand. It's me too with making pastry, pie crust, bread, anything. Based on the age of your flour, the humidity in your household, how old your flour is, and how open, how well it's been stored, it's going to have maybe a different moisture content. So some flour might be a little drier, some might need a little more water than others. So we say start with 1/3 cup, which is what we're going to do. And we're going to mix it together, and then I'm going to leave myself room to add more. So I'm going to mix this together initially, and then we're going to start kneading. Yes, Christina, do we have any questions? How we doing?
What is this shenanigans with like ice water versus cold water? Like, does it really matter? Do I need to get an ice cube?
I mean, cold water, I feel like when it says cold water, that means just cold section on your tap. When it says ice water, I feel like that means you need to make an effort to chill it down. You'll see ice water more in pie crust.
Do you really think it makes a difference is my secret question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
I mean, just you don't want warm water. I will say that. In pastry, you definitely don't want warm. I know people go to the point of where they will chill their bowl. This is a long and slow process because lamination is, and we're going to be adding it to the fridge to cool down. So that's going to help us out in between rolls. I will say it really matters in pie crust. Like I put my bowl in the freezer with pie crust. I'm that person.
Okay. I believe you. I'm on it.
I mean, it doesn't mean I'm a sane person. It's just what I do.
But when it comes to pie crust, I want to do what you do.
All right. Well, then I add my bowl to the freezer and I use ice. So I'm just moving around my dough. Well, it's very shaggy right now. If you see these little kind of strings here, that's shagginess. It's not hydrated enough. I need to be able to kind of knead this over. So I'm going to add some more water. I'm just adding a little more water, a little bit at a time. And now I'm filling it with my hand. If I feel stickiness, then I know that I'm getting close. If I feel little sticky patches. But you definitely don't want this much flour in the bottom of your bowl. If you can see, there's a good enough flour here where I'm going to add some more water. I think the thing is don't be afraid to add more flour, but don't add it all in once. There's times when I'm watching like cooking shows where you watch people who maybe some of their amateur cooking shows where they're adding like 1/2 cup at a time. That is way too much. You can't go back from that. So I'm feeling good about this. Maybe just a few drops more. I want to show you a trick when you get to the end. What you can do is we are going to add, I'm going to flick water on top when I'm really close because that kind of distributes the water without pulling it in one area. Now I understand we are getting into very pastry land. You don't have to do that, but that's what I do. It's the same with pie crust. Any kind of dough I'm doing when I get to the end, where I want to make sure I don't overhydrate it, I kind of do that flicking. Some people have spray bottles. You do you. So now you can see it. So now I'm going to just give it a knead here until I get into a smooth dough. By doing this, I am activating the gluten. So it is going to get a little elastic and springy. So puff pastry or laminated doughs have 2 parts. You have your dough base, which we have, and then you have a fat, which you then roll this dough base out, spread fat on, or put a block of chilled fat in it, fold it up, roll it. You rest it in between because you need that fat to chill. And you need the dough, the gluten in the dough to relax. Otherwise, you're going to be rolling and it's just going to spring right back. So it's a process of rolling, folding in fat, chilling, resting, bringing it back out, rolling, folding, chilling. This is how you make croissant dough. This is how you make Danish dough. This is lamination. You're laminating fat into the dough. And then I'm just kind of getting to a spot here where I feel like it's hydrated enough and smooth. Go water over here. You want to make sure you don't want it too dry or too saggy. So you do want to make sure it's got enough water in it. And then I just wrap it up in a little plastic wrap. Now the recipe says to roll it out now, but I will tell you personally, I like to give this a 10-minute rest right now because my gluten is so active that it's gonna kind of fight me trying to roll it out. And I want my life to be easy, always. So I am going to kind of press it down. I try to press it into a square because we're gonna roll it into a square. Best I can there. And then let it rest for 10 minutes. And then magically, I've got my rested dough here. And as it rests, it will also hydrate a little bit. So you see how kind of smooth and hydrated that dough is? That's been resting about 10-15 minutes. You don't have to do it in the refrigerator. We don't have any fat in this yet. Usually chill dough, if it's got fat in it, to keep that those flakes. So I'm gonna roll this into a square. So then I'm gonna try to start with a square. I highly recommend a bench scraper. These things are life-changing. They have a ruler on it. So we're rolling this out to 1/8 of an inch thick. It'll help me roll it out that way. It'll help me roll it out correctly with the dimensions. They're cheap. They're a great stocking stuffer, everyone. So I'm gonna add a little bit of flour down, not too much. I'm gonna start rolling. Christina, do we have a question?
We do. I think Phyllis and I both feel like we're on the Great British Baking Show because we can ask you all these technical questions.
Well, I mean, they make so many rough puffs. That's what they call it, is a rough puff.
I know. That's exactly what Phyllis said. But she was saying that she hadn't seen this technique before and was asking what other recipes you could use this dough for.
Yeah, you know, kind of wherever this is a different technique because usually a proper official like French puff pastry, I would actually make a rectangle of butter that I pound into a thin rectangle and put it here and fold over. A quick rough puff, which you often see on the Great British Baking, is taking a frozen butter block and grating butter on top of here, which for the butter amount you can try and absolutely do. We're actually gonna spread butter on this and fold it over and roll it out. So those are kind of the difference, a butter block versus grated frozen butter versus kind of spreading a room temp butter. So you can use this forever, wherever you wanna use a puff pastry. Maybe some holiday appetizers. I love me a baked brie and puff pastry. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
With a little cranberry relish on it.
It's like you read my mind. Some rosemary, maybe.
Should we make that here? We should do that with this dough.
Lunchtime.
Well, now I'm distracted. So you see, I'm trying to keep my square shape. If you've got yourself a bench scraper, it does help kind of square off dough. And you can kind of press it. The biggest thing here is that I want it thin. So I am trying to get it to 1/8 of an inch. Move your dough around. It's really helpful. And you can flip it over too. Make sure you can move it. If you don't have a rolling pin, get yourself a wine bottle, y'all. It'll work just as good. And if you don't have wine or a apple cider bottle in your house right now, then what are your holidays? Because that is all my holidays is about. I drink all the mulled wine and apple cider and eggnog and hot cocoa. It's a beverage heavy day for me. Okay, so I've got room temp butter here. I tell this story all the time when I see a recipe that calls for room temp. because when I used to work for a corporation for corporate food development, I wrote cooking instructions that went on the sides of boxes of products sold in stores. And me and another developer halfway across the country, we both were getting different results on these cookies, and we could not figure it out. And finally we met in person. I was like, all right, let's look over all the ingredients. What was it? It was room temperature butter. We had totally different definitions of what room temperature butter was. So room temp butter is usually somewhere like between where you keep your house at, somewhere between like 67 to 72. It's not meant to be like melted in the microwave crazy soft. It's not meant to be really, really cold brick hard. So I've got some room. I'm cutting this into threes because we're gonna do 3 turns. And it's soft, but still a little, not completely melted or firm. And I'm taking this first third. I'm leaving a border around the sides. And I'm spreading my butter out. I'm using unsalted butter. I feel like we have salt in the dough. I feel like this works best with unsalted. If you want to use salted, just omit the salt from the pastry recipe. This is, if you're doing a savory application, you can start getting really fun by adding herbs into this butter, or like a blue cheese butter would be really good in puff pastry.
What now?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said it. Blend some blue cheese and butter in a food processor and make puff pastry out of it, and watch your world get changed. Oh, wow. Please understand that skim milk has left. I am in whole. This is whole milk moment mentality. It's thinking about adding blue cheese to butter. Okay, so I have here. I still have 2/3 of my stick of butter left. These are going to be for 2 more turns. So I have a border across my dough, so the butter does not go all the way to the edges. If you do that, it will kind of squish out. I'm taking my dough, I'm folding it over. The edges are meeting, and I'm pressing my edges here. If you got a little hole, that's okay. Pressing it down. And this is where we want enough flour, because the goal is to roll this out to the size it just was, but we don't want to tear so the butter comes out. If you feel like it's too soft, throw it in the fridge for 5 minutes and then try rolling it out. I feel like we're in Seattle, it's pretty cold here. I feel pretty good about this. So now I'm going to roll and try to get this to the thickness it was. I see a little butter peeking out here. That's okay. Don't be afraid. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get discouraged if a little butter peeks out. You didn't fail. A little butter is going to peek out during this process. That's okay. And so I'm just taking my rolling pin and trying to get it back to the 1/8 of an inch it was. If your butter's too cold, it will shear and break through the dough. So this is an art of finding that butter kind of right at that perfect temperature. And now I just kind of feel like this is rolling pin ASMR. You're just listening to me roll out butter into dough. And this is the lamination part of it. Okay. So I've kind of got my dough here. I've got it thin enough where I want it. I'm going to try to square it up as best I can, because we're going to fold it over in half again. I can stretch and pull to where I want it. So I'm just trying to make it a square. We're going to chill it. Recipe says about 15 minutes. I personally like a long time for chill. I like 30 minutes because the gluten in my dough will rest, and it'll be easier to roll out, and my butter will get cool. It all kind of depends on also how full is your fridge right now, how cool is it running. If it's a little warmer, still within the safe range, but a kind of higher end, you may need a little longer. So I like a half hour, but this is it. There's different recipes. that will tell you you can do different folds. So this is a letter fold where you go over like that. A book fold is where you fold one portion in, the other portion in. You keep a space in between, and then you fold it on top of each other. They all create different variations of layers. This is just for the fridge. You can cover it this way. I usually like to, just for the fridge, put it in fours because it makes more space and wrap it up. And then I'll unfold it and we'll do another fold. We might be able to get one towards the end of class. So I'm gonna give this to Christina to put in the fridge. And then you just repeat this 2 more times. So 2 more times is gonna give us at least another hour where you're doing this. Put on a holiday movie. Make yourself some hot cocoa, relax. You deserve it. Is anyone else in your family making puff pastry from scratch right now? No, it's you, and you deserve everything you want right now, okay? Order yourself some cheese, something with cheese on it. You deserve it. So, half an hour fridge, then you take out, do the same thing, roll it out to square, butter, fold over, roll, back in the fridge, comes out, does it one more time, and then we'll kind of do a swap there. So I'm gonna give this to Christina to put in the fridge. And then Christina, can you take out, there's already a folded dough in there.
I'm on it, I shall return.
All right. How are we feeling? It's okay to look at this and go, I will never do this, but this is fun to watch, and that's okay. You're just as important to us and special if that's how you're feeling right now, because it's a lot. I get it. But that's homemade puff pastry, so it's not too scary. It's the kind of the same way the dough, if it had eggs and milk in it, then that is, you get Danish dough. That's how you get croissant dough. Croissant dough and Danish dough often also will have yeast in it. So now you guys are just going to pastry school. Now we're just doing pastry school things. Okay.
We have a couple questions, Jenny.
Yes.
You'll be shocked. One of them's about your blue cheese comment.
Oh, look, please.
Someone had actually tried that.
Okay.
And their question was, like, it tasted a little soapy.
Soapy? Okay.
Is there a kind of blue cheese you'd recommend?
I would like a Stilton for that, because I think a Stilton has a good flavor. A Gorgonzola would also be nice. That's got a little bit more creaminess to it. It's really whatever flavor profile you kind of want to concentrate. If blue cheese is a little too forward for you, do Parmesan. There's plenty of other cheeses.
Whoa, it's so cheese flexible.
Well, I mean, I love all the have I ever no one's ever said to me, do you want some cheese? And then I'm like, oh, no, thank you. I've never done that. That's not the lifestyle I live. But
I love it. I love it.
Props to you for having self-control than any of you do. Okay.
One other question. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, please.
How far in advance could you make this dough?
Yeah, so I would do it the day before in the fridge. You can make it the day before you want to make the tarts if you're going to leave it in the fridge. If you want it, you can make it 1 to 2 months before, fold it up and put it in the freezer. I feel like for homemade dough, that's kind of the amount I would do it ahead of time in the freezer. But hey, make this in October and you can start busting this out during Christmas time or holiday time. Just
Really?
make sure what makes a difference is how well you wrap it. Wrap it really well and then put it in a freezer-safe freezer bag. So I wrap it and then I put it inside a bag. Otherwise, all this fat kind of absorbs flavor from the freezer. So.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
We've all had, that kind of freezer-burn food that tastes like every food item you have in your freezer. Yeah. Okay, so here's my dough. Here's a really good tool to have for this. In between each roll, I'm dusting away excess flour. Otherwise, that flour is going to kind of dry out, not give the nicest flavor inside of your pastry. And then starting from the bottom, I am going to roll this pastry up. So this is what you do after your final lamination turn, after all this butter is gone. I then roll it up. So I'm just taking a moment to brush away my excess flour. Okay, and there we go. And now we've got our dough here. You want to take, and you can go ahead, and what I like to do too is to pinch the ends. And then this is where you cut 18 slices out of it. We want about an inch slice. So we take it here. I love, love, love me a dough scraper. So right there is about an inch. I can use my dough scraper to cut. And then let me see if I can get in the camera there. I know it's hard, but there's all these little spirals of fat. So you can see the individual spirals of the lamination. That's my flakes. So that's what we're looking for. And then just take a little bit of flour and press down. And we're rolling this out to be about 4 inches. And this is where you want to make sure your dough is cold. Chill it if it's not, otherwise your butter's going to go out everywhere. So you're kind of wanting to get about 4 inches. And I'm just taking this and spreading it out. Now, in Portugal, they actually have individual tart pans, and the sides are sloped and the metal's a little thinner. So they take these dough rounds and with their thumbs press this into the dough mold. I'm guessing not everyone has those. We don't have here, but that's okay. A muffin tin will work. If anyone's from Portugal, especially bakers, I acknowledge these are not the same results. Those little tart pans are very specific, and I'm sure you can order them online if you want them. But we've got a muffin tin here, so this is what we're gonna work with. So let me see what my top down looks here. All right, so I'm gonna take this guy, and I use the little knuckle of my finger and very gently press this in. I do not need to spray my pan. There is so much butter in here that it's gonna slide right out. I like a dark metal muffin pan because it really gets a good color on the outside. And dark metal does get a little darker of a color than a light metal pan for baking. I don't mind having a little on the sides. It'll slope down, and that's how you put them in. And then you want to line this whole pan with that. Do you want me to do one more? We'll do one more, okay? So we go an inch in our dough, cut an inch, and then let's roll it out. So I go that cut side down, it's still cold, and I'm trying to get about 4 inches, a circle that's 4 inches wide. And you can see on your bench scraper, you can measure about 4 inches. And then just try to kind of even out the stretch. And it's very hard to see, but there's a whole spiral of fat you can see, and that's our lamination. And then I put it in the center. I take my knuckle and I gently press this dough in. And that's it. Gonna add that in. So you do the whole tray. That's just repetitive. So I'm gonna show you now how to make the custard filling. So we have our milk over here. And as I start this, Christina, do we have any questions about that? I'm gonna add sugar water into this pot.
Well, you were having a little chat about rolling pins, and we were talking about how the marble is so nice and cold, but it's also heavy.
It is heavy. If you don't do marble, which I do like marble for this because it keeps it cold. So sugar, water in here, and I'm just bringing it up to a simmer, and then we're gonna simmer this. We wanna dissolve the sugar, and we're gonna simmer this for about 3 to 4 minutes until it's a syrup consistency. If I'm not using a marble rolling pin, I really like a French rolling pin. Those have tapered ends to them. So I really like, it gives me a lot of room to roll out. Are you a French rolling pin? What kind of? Come on, it tells me everything I need to know. Tell me your rolling pin.
You know, the sad, well, not the sad, the bougie truth of it.
Oh, this is going to be
also
good.
dibs on the band name Bougie Truth. Is that I worked at Sur La Table, a kitchen and cookware store for years. And
we both did.
We both did. And you just collect. So I've got...
You have them?
I got the French. I got the marble. I've got like a silicone one. But, you know, like everybody has their favorites. But I think the simplest ones are my favorite. Like just the straight, no contour or whatever. Just like... That's the one our family ends up using the most for pies and all that business.
We have the same affliction because once you work at a kitchen store and you get a discount, I don't think I ever really took a paycheck home. It all went right back into the store. So I have all the different molds. I probably have these 8 custard molds somewhere. I used it. I liked it. But I'll say I taught a lot of lamination classes. So I taught a lot of croissant classes. And I like that tapered French rolling pin. So my sugar's coming over here. It's dissolving in the water. I'm bringing it up to simmer. And then I've got my milk and lemon peel and cinnamon have beautifully steeped. And I am now going to strain a little bit of this milk, just a little to begin with, into my flour mixture here. And mix this together. Just a little at first because I'm trying to make a slurry paste. So we're gonna this is what's gonna thicken and set our custard a little bit. You wanna start just with a little bit and get those lumps out. And now I'm going to strain the rest in of that milk just because I wanna get out my lemon and my cinnamon stick out. We're gonna mix this with here. You could add these back in here to infuse the syrup a little bit if you wanted. And then I'm just gonna give this a mix. I got a wooden spoon here. And it's kind of almost like we're making a creme anglaise, but we're adding flour to it. So almost as if you were making a creme anglaise base. Get that sugar dissolved. Yum. I mean, we're not making caramel here. We don't want this to get golden brown. We're not making toffee. We're evaporating here the water off. We're just trying to get a thickened sugar syrup. I find this very meditative, combining liquids together, tempering them out. These are my vibes. Another one of my milk moments around this time of year is around this week, I usually do like to bust out a tiramisu if I can.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You got your mascarpone.
Yes.
Which if you don't know, it's delicious Italian cream cheese that's very nutty and flavorful. So those are the vibes I tend to like to do. I do like that this is a Portuguese baking class and my Sicilian self can't stop from promoting Italian desserts. I do want you to know I'm self-aware enough to recognize that is what I'm doing. And a hot chocolate too. My husband's a big hot chocolate person. So we've been doing peppermint hot cocoa with a little peppermint extract, and then I'm putting crushed candy canes on top.
You're living your best milk moments life over there.
Left the building. I don't know. We're having 4 beverages a day. I don't know what's happening, but it's really at that point now. I'm gonna need a salad soon, or I mean, it's not gonna be good, y'all. All right, this is kind of a syrupy consistency now. So I'm gonna slowly drizzle in my milk, flour, my infused milk, flour, ingredients, and then I'm gonna put this on kind of medium. And that flour, that starch in the flour is going to swell, and it's gonna make ourselves kind of a thickened pudding almost. And then I'm gonna turn off the heat. I'm gonna whisk in 6 egg yolks. Do not toss your egg yolks or egg whites. Keep your egg whites. Egg whites freeze really well in a freezer safe dish. If you're chefs, you use deli cups. So we're all about the deli cups. So freeze your egg whites. They work well defrosted for meringues, pavlovas we were talking about earlier, even macarons you can use them for. So egg white omelets, anyone making a strata for Christmas morning? That's it. If you don't know,
I might be now.
That is a European breakfast casserole that you make with milk and eggs. Like you make a custard and you soak the bread overnight in that custard and you bake and it gets all puffy and delicious in the morning. Save it for that, y'all. If you're my mom, you added like crumbled breakfast sausage in it and mushrooms, and it's pretty good. And so much cheese, but cheddar, like it layered in as cheddar cheese.
Famously, in an old-timey movie with Sarah Jessica Parker,
Family
a Christmas
Stone.
movie, she like is carrying one and spills it in the most dramatic way. But it's burned in my mind forever. Because
that was our Christmas morning. Always my mom did that as our breakfast. That moment is burned into my brain as so traumatic. Like, they spilled the strata. Like, that's all I can think about is in that moment is that.
I love it. Like, I just thought it was funny, but you're like, no,
it was
that is
traumatizing. I remember that one. Okay, you see this custard, or you see this thickened pudding we've got now? I've turned off the heat, and now about one at a time, I'm going to whisk in my egg yolk. And then this is our egg custard base. You're gonna maybe get a little bit of egg coagulate in there. That's okay, we're going to strain this. Just keep it moving. Keep it moving. We're gonna strain this so we'll get any little cooked egg parts out. Look at that beautiful golden color on that. That's lovely. I love that. And then we're going to now strain this. I like to strain this in a pouring cup because I am going to pour this into each of my little doughs, into my custards. We're looking for about 2 tablespoons per custard cup. So I'm just going to take this and then strain it and any little cooked egg we have there. And please get a spatula. Do not leave any custard behind. That is...
No custard left behind.
No custard left behind, ever. You can see here, we've got some little egg particles, little proteins that coagulated. That's fine, we got those out. And now we've got this beautiful custard base. What I would do when these are finished in your pan is pop this in the fridge for about 10 minutes. That re-chills the dough. Cold fat going in a really hot oven is what's gonna make that lamination puff and give you some flakes. So I put this, while we're making our custard, I would put this in the fridge for 10 minutes at least. And then I would also, if you can mix this in a bowl that's nestled in an ice bath, that will cool this down quickly. You also can just leave this to cool for about 20 minutes on the counter and even chill it down on the fridge. And that will help keep these flakes, because if you put a hot custard in here, then you're going to start melting some of your flakes. So I'm switching out with the chilled custard that I already have, and then you fill these about 2 tablespoons. I have my oven. This is maybe what I really think separates these custards and makes them identifiable to Portugal, is that I've got my oven screeching hot. It's 500. 550 can go up to it. It's hot. So only 12 to 15 minutes, but in that time, our pastry is gonna bake and we're gonna get almost like a bruleed top on our custard. So that's it. We've got our custard made. You can make your custard earlier in the day and keep it in the fridge. You can make your puff pastry 1 or 2 months before, put it in the freezer, make it the day before, keep it in the fridge. So there is a way to do these where you only serve them right away. And then we're gonna have some magic here. Dun, 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 dun. Look at our milk moment that we made. Look at these little guys. Aren't they beautiful? Sometimes they can sink a little bit. That's okay. I've got some cinnamon. This is my favorite one. There's always going to be one that speaks to you, tells you that she's your special baby. This is my special baby. I don't know if you can see the little brulee top on it. Look at how beautiful our pastry is brown. So I would eat these the day you make them. I don't think they're great in the fridge 1 or 2 days before they start to get a little soggy. If you have to, I would put them back on a cookie sheet and put them in like a 350 degree oven, 325. We don't want to curdle our egg, but we do want to bring this pastry back to life a little bit. So it's really meant to be. But again, you can make your custard earlier in the day. You can make your puff pastry ahead of time. This is a fun thing to do with the whole family.
I'm feeling very much like I would be a pastry in advance person, like maybe months when I have the energy to do it ahead of the holidays. And then like the custard part's pretty straightforward. It's just, it's a lot when you do it all at once.
But it's pretty, I mean, put someone on the syrup, put yourself on the milk, put someone else on the eggs. You can absolutely separate the day before. So you can even make your custard making experience a little easier. So,
quality control time.
Cheers to you. Cheers to you, Christina. Merry Christmas, and thank you so much. Happy holidays, and thank you so much for being here. Cheers to you guys. I'm going to bite into this now. Oh. Can you hear the crunch?
Are you transported to Portugal with your handiwork?
I mean, yes, I was going to say if I had some wine, even more, but I will accept this 1,000%. The pastry is so flaky. And the custard, even though it's a high heat, it's not in there that long. Just silky and smooth and lovely. And that little cinnamon on top just kind of awakes the pastry. Oh, it's so lovely. I'm absolutely going to make these for Christmas. I just want to say to you too, if after looking at this puff pastry and you're like 1,000% no, respect, know your limits, you can buy puff pastry, defrost it, roll it out, cut circles of it, and make it fill in your lines the same way I did. It's not exactly the same, but it'll get you there. And what's really, to me, the highlight of the dish is the custard. So as long as you got custard, you're golden. I will say if you're buying puff pastry, look in the ingredient statement. Make sure it says butter, real butter, not shortening. I will not work with puff pastry that's short vegetable fat. Like, that's not puff pastry to me. That's 1,000% no. You are looking for ones with real butter. So, a little more bite, a little more quality control.
Props to Suzanne, who's cooking along. Your technique is amazing.
Excellent. Lena,
and
how we doing over
we
there?
can't see, but you're doing it.
I can tell. Hey, beautiful. Nice job. Oh my gosh. This is so fun. Fam, thanks for coming. I know it's a 1 p.m., 4 p.m. Eastern time block during a very busy week, I'm sure, for all of you. So we so appreciate you seeing you. I want to thank Christina for being here. We want to thank our friends at the American Dairy Association Northeast, especially for making milk moments happen. If you've thought about a great milk moment, please go to their site, makemilkmoments.com, and share and register for a chance to win $1,000, because I know you all got some great stories out there. We've already heard plenty of them here today. And just on a personal note, you've made my 2023. Doing these classes with you all, cooking with you, it's just the best thing of my day. So we're so grateful to all of you on behalf of Homemade, on behalf of myself, for coming here and baking and cooking with us. Happy holidays to all of you. Be safe, be well. Eat all the bread and cheese, all of it. And butter. Treat yourself. And we are going to come back big and plenty in 2024, and we can't wait to see you there. Thank you so much, everyone. Much love to you. Happy holidays.
Bye, everybody. Happy holidays.
Bye.